It's funny in a Kevin Smith film and a trilogy of films that I have grown to appreciate that the moral of the story is to invest in crypto. Clerks 3. I look as I put it in the not comment section, the script description box. I wasn't even supposed to be here today. I was going to see The Woman King, which I still intend to see, if not this week. Hopefully, maybe I'll get out tomorrow and see it. But if not, then maybe like Wednesday when I actually have a day off. But I do want to see The Woman King. Or maybe this weekend if I get a chance, because my girlfriend wants to see it too. But I'm looking through the show and it's like, okay, The Woman King. And then I see the Fathom event for Clerks 3. I'm like, well, never mind. I know what I'm seeing this week. So Clerks 3. My thoughts on the original Clerks, being brief, is I love the original Clerks movie. That is a classic. Kevin Smith is a great dialogue director. He really is. Just these interactions with these characters who seem very real, like people and that people you would probably have interacted with. And he does a great job of just making you feel like you're just hanging out with these guys. Clerks 2, follows up with that about 10 years later. I can't remember exactly how many years it was. No, it's 12 years later. 12 years later after the original, and they're in their 30s now, and where their life is there. And I argue Clerks 2 might even be funnier than the first one. My God. And just, I think, a better overall film with more characters, where they are in their life and their story. So going into Clerks 3 now, they're in their 40s, and what's going on, what happened there. Obviously, if you've seen the trailer at all, you know the basic plot. Randall actually suffers a heart attack, and he's just like, what have I done with my life? I thought that you could make a great movie, so he sets out to make a movie, and the story of what's going on there, plus what's going on with Dante, Elias, Jay and Silent Bob, Rosie's back, obviously. So, and a lot of returning cast members are back too. When they ultimately play the movie, it is the original Clerks is what it is. I find as I'm getting older, and I'm only in my early 30s. I'm not where they are here. But as I'm getting older, movies about your life and what you've done with it start to strike different chords with me. And it's weird. It actually is very weird, because I haven't watched the second one in a while. I am now in the age range where I should identify more with the second one. But given the subject matter of heart attacks in this movie and what happened with my dad recently this year, and my dad's fine. He's healthy and overall that. And the fact that I'm now in the age group where I could also fall prey to something like that, as my father did, and my mother had an issue that resulted in one. I look at that and I'm like, I find myself weirdly enough identifying more with, again, personally having family members who have like that, and they talk about you're on a clock, basically. You're on a clock, like our time is limited, and what you're going to do with that time is going to really kind of show who you are, as well as the people around you. And for some reason, that was striking a bigger chord to me in this film than it did in the second one. Now, to be fair, in 2006, I was only, that was 17 years ago? I was only 15. So, no, actually, no, I wasn't 15. I was, was I 15? Yeah, I was 15. So, not necessarily a movie that would have struck the biggest chord to me then. And maybe if I rewatch Clerks 2 now, it would strike something of a different tone. But just given some of the experiences in my life at this point, I can say this one was definitely striking some beats. This, first off, though, let me just say this right now. This is a really good film. I think, prefer the second one, because I won't spoil anything for the movie. I'll do my best not to spoil anything for the movie. Comparatively, I like how the second one ended, the tone it ended on, more than the tone the third one ended on. Not to say that the tone the third one ended on is bad. It's a bittersweet ending, I think, is the best way to put it. I think that's exactly the best way to put it. There is a acceptance, a you have a smile on you, but there's a sadness in that smile too. Because let me tell you right now, this film is the definitive end of this series. He's not going to do another one after this. This is going to be the end. Film opened with Kevin Smith, like talking to the audience, saying, "Hey, thanks for coming out," and all this. And unlike a lot of people, where it just kind of seems like they're reading off of something and they seem a little scripted. No, it's Kevin Smith. This guy is like, he's one of you. He is a lover of movies. He is a nerd connoisseur. He's just a dude who loves that. This is his passion. This is his life, and he wants to share that with you. And you always get that with Kevin Smith. So there's always a scene where Silent Bob speaks. There is always a scene where Silent Bob speaks in every movie he's in. And sometimes more than one. Like in Dogma. In Dogma, it's like no ticket and thanks. Like there's that one. And Chasing Amy, it's the whole Chasing Amy. It's like I'm always chasing Amy, figuratively speaking. It's Clerks 2. It's like what? I got nothing. Oh, come on, that hurts, man. What do you have to say? One word, pussy, man. He's always got that one. Like, when he gets his one line, everyone's cracking up in the theater. And it was a Fathom event. It's not like there was only one screen. There was a fair few of us. There was at least a dozen, one or two dozen of us there. We were all laughing. The callbacks to the original. I don't mean just like cast members returning, because they got everyone to come back. And I mean everyone who's alive anyway. They got everyone. I'm not joking. They got everyone to come back from the other two movies. Let me put it this way, without going into too much spoilers. Some of the main cast, Vicky, or his ex-girlfriend from the first movie, she came back. The ex-fiance from the second movie came back. There are other characters that we all recognize. We're like, oh my god, they actually got them back. Like, it was so fun, but also just the callbacks to the original, but also putting the meta tone on it. This is kind of how meta is. Meta is tricky to do. I still need to review She-Hulk later. She-Hulk, I feel, isn't quite getting the meta tone down perfectly. It's doing it okay, but it's not doing it perfectly. This is how you do meta right, where you're referencing something from the original. Like, we should talk about that, remember when we used to talk about the contractors of the Death Star? Oh, I can get sued by Disney? What way? So, absolutely, that's there. But then you add other things to the mix. Jay, like Silent or Jay doing his dance, except he's too shy to, like, nervous or shy to do it in front of everyone. So it's like, fine, okay, whatever. So they just go and hide, so he does his dance. So I mean, there's a lot to like here, and these characters are very similar to, like, say, Sam and Dean. Me and my girlfriend are watching Supernatural right now. I'd only seen a couple episodes, so we're going through the series. We're almost done with season 1 at this point. And their character, like the Sam and Dean, they're characters who you just kind of want to spend time with. They're fun, even though they sometimes, like Randall is irreparable, is like he's a terrible individual. This film, though, as I said, as I get older, films of this nature really started to strike a stronger chord with me, because it's not just Randall's story. It is Dante's story as well, and what has happened to him, and what's happened with him and Rosie. Now, this I don't want to spoil, what's happened with their relationship. But when we see something in the beginning, I'm like, wait, did that happen? But wait, what happened? And then we find out what happened, and how can I go into this without going into too much spoilers? It comes off as a very, like a, wait, we went this direction? And at the same time, it's something that just happens in real life. And I was actually very surprised by that. And as we got more into Dante's story and more, I could just feel the emotions starting to well in me. Because Dante's not in a great place at the beginning of the story. And at the end of the story, again, it's a complete arc. He finds peace. He finds his peace. And in the scene where it's happening, oh man, especially when I heard the dialogue, I'm realizing, oh man, we're going this route. Okay, okay. It's like wow. And by the end of it, I had some tears in my eyes when this movie was over because it was both funny, touching, sad, and yet kind not uplifting, but there is a weird catharsis with it. Like no matter what happens to you, your story can go on. No matter what obstacles are going to come in your are going to like stand in your way and kick you down, as long as you're able to get back on your feet, your story can still continue. You're the only one who ultimately gets to you're the only one who basically gets to put the period at the end of the sentence on your story. You're the only one who gets to write the final page, provided you don't get hit by a car randomly or something like that. Um, but yeah, as long as you're still able to keep going, you're the one who gets to make the decisions of what happens in your story. And yeah, there is something to be said about that. There is. And like I said, honestly, I'm still in a bit of a weird place from watching because it really left me feeling kind of. It kind of makes you not question, but kind of makes you think about where you are in life. And I won't lie. I mean, I am in a comfortable place, but there are lines in the movie where I feel like, oh, that is like hit me, or makes me question if I've maybe made some of the right choices in life. And like I said, I am in a good spot where I am in life right now. I think I'm in a comfortable, good spot. But I know that I am as time goes on, time doesn't stop going. Things, people get older, things change, and you've got to be able to roll those punches. And one of the few things in life, and I actually feel myself like I can actually feel myself getting a bit emotional thinking about it. One of the few things in life that actually scares me. Like I look, I could literally face a grizzly bear down eye to eye and probably not be scared. I'm not trying to like bolster myself or something, make myself. I'm being serious. I could probably stare a man-eating animal in the face and be like, "Let's do this shit." But the thing that in life that honestly is one of the only things that legitimately kind of scares me is that unknown where you'll be maybe 5 or 6 or 7 years down the line if you're not focusing where you are now with the people you have. And oh god, woo, man, this movie hit me a bit harder than I thought. And I think about my mom and my dad, and damn, wow, I was not expecting this to happen right now. Let's take a breath here for a second. Whew. And like my friends and the people I love and care about, I'm thinking like, I just want to do right by them and be there for them. So, you know, I don't want to fuck things up down the line if I can help it. So yeah, to say this movie struck a chord to me, I guess is a bit of an understatement. Woo. Um, so yeah, look, I just looked at the Rotten Tomatoes. It's not, it's holding a 67. It's holding a positive rating by the critics, but yeah, it's I thought it was a very like I said, I think I like the second one better because it ends on a note I really like. It's a just a fun movie. It's still got like a lot of still got a lot of commentary about people in that state, and I mean again, I'd be in that age group now. Um, I'm only in my early 30s though. I've got plenty of 30s left to go, but I'm in my early 30s now, and yeah, it just I think I just like Clerks too. It's got a better tone I think to it. It's got a better tone. It's got a better its sense of humor while childish and immature. Um, I think it's got a nice message to it ultimately. I like the message a bit more. Not that I like the message more. It's hard to put it. It's like sometimes you like something more than something else, and you can't necessarily put words to it. But yeah, I do like the second one better. But in terms of an ending to the story, this does make sense, and I did very much like this movie. As you could tell, it struck a bit of a chord with me, as it turns out. So yeah, yeah. If you do like Clerks and you're able to go out and see this, I do recommend it. If nothing else, to finally to see where it stands. But yeah, this is just my opinion. Obviously, if you've seen the movie, what did you think about the movie? Let me know. I'd be interested to hear what you think. Did it strike the same chord with you as it did with me? I don't know, given my audience. I mean, I've checked my audience, like my analytics before. In fact, I'll check it again. How many people are within the age group that this could maybe have a similar effect that it clearly did on me? Again, I'm keeping that in, by the way. I don't edit my videos anyway, but even if I did, I'd be keeping that in. See, watch a grown man cry. Hey, man, it struck a chord with me. It really actually struck a serious emotional chord with me. But let's see here. Analytics. How many of my viewers are in that age range? Let's find out today on Jeopardy. Audience. Here we go. So roughly speaking, oh, here's the age range. So the majority of my audience falls between the parameters of 18 to 34. That's well over 70% of them. But I do have a subset of 35 to 44ers, around 15% of you guys, almost 16%. So thank you all for watching, by the way. And so, yeah, I mean, I don't know, maybe there's a 13 to 17-year-old who it strikes a similar chord to. I don't know. I'll be honest, and this is no slight against my 13 to 17-year-old viewers. I appreciate the 5% of you that watch. And I got the analytics up right now, so I can actually give you the numbers. But I'm trying to think. 2000. I mean, for you 13-year-olds, you weren't even alive when Clerks 2 came out, and for the 17-year-olds, you were one or two-ish, one and a half. So, no offense. I don't think this really resonates with you guys, as you probably were too young to even know it existed. Or yeah, I mean, you probably, like, even if you're born after the fact, you wouldn't have known about it because you're just a baby. No, obviously it'd be closer to the 25. It'd be more like the 25 to 30-year-old groups like me, or the 35 to 44-year-olds, or even the 45 to 54-year-olds who know more about this and could probably find it a bit more, the message about it a bit more resonating. But either way, this is just my opinion on the movie. Let me know what you thought if you have seen it, or if you're going to see it, by all means. But until then, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll see you later.